Hi, I'm Kate Colleran from makeadream.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to cut braid pieces. First, let me tell you what that means. Braid pieces are the pieces that are in this quilt right here. This is called my Down the Garden Path quilt, and it's from my book, Smash Your Pre-Cut Stash, that I wrote with Elizabeth Balderrama. We had a lot of fun making this quilt with jelly roll strips, but to cut those pieces, what we did was we used this template plastic. Now, template plastic is great for applique, but it's a little floppy and you can't really cut against it with a rotary cutter. So I thought, you know what, there has to be a better way. And so I came up with my own template to be able to cut this shape, as well as to be able to cut this similar shape, but in different sizes. So let me show you the braid template. It's right here. This is my braid template. What's really fun about it is that you can cut that same braid shape with strips all the way up to 3 inches wide, but you could cut them with 1.5 inch wide strips or 2 inch wide strips, and you can cut your pieces of different lengths. You can cut them all the way to 8.5 inches long, because that's how big this template is, down to 5 3/4 inches long. And what that means is when you cut skinny little braid pieces, your braid is skinny. When you cut wider braid pieces, your braid is wider. And it's really super simple to cut these pieces with this template, because you can cut against this because it's a nice hard acrylic ruler. Once I came up with this, I also came up with some other patterns that could use it. So not just the quilt in my book. I've got this really fun placemat that also comes with a table runner in my pattern called Table Scraps. And the reason I called it Table Scraps, well, that's because I used all my batik scraps to make these fun little pieces right here. I also came up with a pattern called Crosscut. Crosscut, you can use a jelly roll or you could use a layer cake to make this. I also have this fun little runner called Leftovers. Now, if you look real close, you'll notice that shape looks a little bit different than the braid shape, but you can cut that shape as well with my template, and I'll show you that in another video. My newest pattern is called Two-Step Mini. This was a fun little quilt that I did in collaboration with Leah Day. My job was to come up with a fun little mini quilt top, send it to Leah, and then Leah's job was to quilt it. So if you go to my blog, which is at seemslikeadream.com/blog, you can see my post about my quilt top, and then you can go to Leah's site and see her post about how she quilted it. Well, it's a lot of fun. So let me show you how easy it is to cut the pieces with my braid template. We're going to move this stuff out of the way, and we're going to move the camera a little bit, and we're going to show you what to do. To get started, anytime you're going to cut for a project, you first need to know how wide you're going to cut your strips. For this little project, they're 1.5 inches wide. And isn't this a really fun line of fabric? This is called Fresh Catch by Jackie Kunkel for Island Batik. And I think it made my mini quilt look just fabulous. So let me show you how to cut them. I'm going to move some of these out of the way. I'm going to lay this one strip down. So now I've got my strip so that you can see that I've got it wrong sides together. Or right sides together, because it's a batik, and batiks really don't have right sides or wrong sides. But as long as you lay your strip double width so that you've got either wrong sides or right sides together, that's how you want to get started. Then what you need is a nice straight edge. I like to use the edge of my braid template to just cut off the selvages. And if you can't cut with your left hand like I'm going to do right now, that's okay. Cut it with your right and then turn your strip around. So first thing I'm going to do, get rid of that. Okay? And that's over there. So once you've decided the width of your strip, now you need to know how long you want to cut your pieces. In each of my patterns, I tell you how big to cut them. For this demonstration, I'm going to use my 6.5 inch mark right here. So I'm going to slide my braid template along till I'm at the 6.5 lined up with my cut edge, and I've lined up the bottom of the template with my strip. There's even markings on the template that says line up along this edge, so you'll never forget which edge you're supposed to line up on. Once I've got it all lined up and secure, I come over here and I cut my angle. And there we go. I've got two pieces that look like this. And now over here on my strip, I've got an angled edge. So what I want to do is just rotate my template, look for my 6.5, because that's the mark that I'm using, line up my 6.5 inch angled line, and the edge of my template that says line up along this edge with the edge of my strip. I'm going to anchor my template and make my cut. So how easy is that? Super, super easy, isn't it? I've got 2 more pieces, and then depending on how much of my strip I have left, I might be able to rotate this around and do 1 more cut. So once I've got all my pieces cut for my project, then I'm going to line them up. So let me move this out of the way. And as you can see here, I've got all my pieces lined up. I tried to pick an order that I thought was pleasing, and these are the order I'm going to sew them in. And what's really fun is you can see the way I line these up. We've just about got the sides of our braid already done the minute we sew it. So what we're going to do is in the next video, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to sew all these together. It'll be super fun, it'll be super easy, but just remember, in your braid template, there's a handout that shows you how to cut and how to sew. So you can always refer to that, but if you have questions, just come back and watch this video again, because really, it's really fun and super, super simple. So I will see you in the next video. Talk to you later. Bye.